Hello everyone, I'm Jennifer, and welcome to our chat today. We're here to talk about our cooking adventures and share some handy tips. Thanks for joining us! Recently, I was in the middle of making my favorite blueberry crumble for a family get-together when I realized I didn't have enough blueberries. This dish is a staple at our gatherings because it's sweet, tangy, and has a comforting crumbly top. It's perfect for dessert, especially in Texas where we love our fruity desserts. Blueberries are small, round fruits known for their deep blue color and sweet, tart taste. They're packed with antioxidants and are super popular here for everything from pies to smoothies to breakfast bowls. I often use them in muffins, pancakes, and even salads. When I found myself short on blueberries, I decided to get creative with cherries instead. Cherries have a similar sweet, tart profile that worked beautifully in my blueberry crumble. I used them in the same way I would blueberries, pitting and slicing them before mixing them into the crumble filling. This substitution not only maintained the fruitiness and color of the dish, but also added a slightly different flavor dimension that was surprisingly delightful.
Jennifer, using cherries instead of blueberries sounds intriguing. How did you find the flavor compared to the original recipe? I am curious, especially since cherries have a distinct taste here in California.
Jennifer, that's a fascinating twist. Did you adjust the sweetness or acidity in the crumble to accommodate the cherries? In Washington, we love using cherries in desserts too, but they can be quite bold in flavor.
Cherries are such a bold choice. Jennifer, did you find any challenges in adapting the crumble recipe with cherries? In Florida, cherries are a bit less common, but I'm intrigued by how they could work in a dish like this.
Jennifer, I'm impressed by your adaptability. How did the texture hold up with cherries compared to blueberries? Here in New York, we often use cherries in pies, but I'm curious about their performance in a crumble.
Thank you all! The cherries worked surprisingly well. They brought a slightly deeper sweetness compared to blueberries, which added a rich flavor layer to the crumble. I adjusted the sweetness a bit, reducing the sugar in the topping slightly to balance out the cherry's natural sweetness. The texture held up nicely too. Cherries softened beautifully while baking, similar to how blueberries would behave. Overall, it was a successful experiment that I'll definitely try again.
When I buy blueberries, I focus on their firmness and color. In California, we get fresh blueberries almost year-round, and I use them for smoothies and snacks. Firm berries with a deep blue color are usually the freshest, but be cautious of any berries with a dull or soft appearance. They might be overripe.
I agree, Sarah. I usually check for sweetness. In Washington, blueberries are popular in pies and jams, so the sweeter, the better. Look for berries that are evenly colored and avoid those with too many green or red patches, as they might not be fully ripe yet.
Good points. I also consider the size. In Florida, I use blueberries in salads and desserts. Larger berries often have a juicier texture, but you should check for any signs of shriveling or mold, especially in the humid climate here.
For me in New York, the source is important. I prefer locally grown blueberries for their fresh taste in tarts and breakfast bowls. Check the packaging or ask at farmers markets to ensure you're getting locally sourced berries, which are often fresher and tastier.
And look at the packaging. In Texas, we use blueberries in a lot of dishes, from crumbles to smoothies. Make sure the packaging is intact and the berries are free from moisture to avoid spoilage. Damaged packaging can lead to mold or spoilage.
An alternative to blueberries that we often use in California is strawberries. They're sweet and juicy, perfect for desserts and salads. While they lack the tartness of blueberries, they bring a vibrant flavor and color to dishes.
In Washington, I sometimes use huckleberries instead of blueberries. They're smaller and tartar, which works well in jams and pies, giving a unique flavor profile compared to blueberries.
Here in Florida, blackberries are a great alternative. They're larger and have a slightly more intense flavor. They're great in cobblers and sauces, but they can be a bit more tart and seedy than blueberries.
In New York, raspberries are a common substitute. They are sweet and tart, like blueberries, and work well in many of the same dishes, although they're a bit softer and can break down more easily when cooked.
I often use cherries in Texas as an alternative. They're sweet and juicy, great for crumbles and salads, but they have a more pronounced flavor and a firmer texture compared to blueberries. Thanks everyone. We had a great discussion today. We talked about my blueberry shortage adventure and creative solutions, and shared tips on buying the best blueberries. Sarah emphasized firmness. Emily focused on sweetness. Maya discussed size. Chloe highlighted sourcing, and I talked about packaging. It was wonderful hearing all your insights. We hope you found our conversation helpful and enjoyable. Thanks for joining us today. We look forward to sharing more tips and stories with you next time. Take care.